Good evening, everybody. Patrick Batty here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're ready to roll. All I would like to do is, before we get started, is a quick song sound check. If somebody can just let me know, just put a yes in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I expect you can. There might be a lag with using this webinar platform, though. So let me know as soon as you can hear me, and then we'll get going. Alrighty, good. Thank you. First of all, welcome, guys. I see some friends here already. Jeanette, welcome aboard. Lauren, I see. Paul Turner. Just so you guys know, I have enabled the chat. The webinar platform I'm using is a team platform my friend Paul Turner has. Unfortunately, when I use it, it shows me that I'm Paul Turner. And I haven't figured out how to change that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm Patrick Batty. John, I see you. Greg, I see you. And I see 10 other attendees. Hey, anybody else that's in the room already? I see a bunch of other people. Just say hello in the chat so we know who we're talking to, and then we'll get going here in 1 second. But please say hello. This is a real interactive thing we're doing tonight, and I'm quite excited about it. So let's see some hellos from the other folks. Maybe anybody type in where you are around the world. Let us know. Okay, and as I see that, I'm going to kick in with the presentation because it's going to be a very packed presentation tonight. I'm going to really Jeanette got it, Norfolk, Virginia, cool. I think Lauren's up in Australia. John, go Siskins. Oh, hey, thank you, John. John's an old colleague from our area here in Waterloo. No, he doesn't live in Waterloo now. In Waterloo, our hockey team is called the Siskins. I actually had a tryout, but I failed it miserably many, many years ago for them. You didn't know that, John. So you struck a nerve there. Now I'm in a bad mood, man. No. Anyway, Anchorage, Alaska. Cool. Greg, I know, is down North Carolina. Wimpete, Manitoba, William, is that it? I'm not quite sure what the town is. But anyway, cool. We're seeing people around the world, or at least around North America. And I think there's a bunch of people that have registered in the UK, but it's so late for them. They're probably going to catch the replay. So without further ado, let me switch over to my presentation screen here and tell you what we'll be doing, tell you what we'll be talking about. This is a packed agenda tonight, and so I'm going to go through some slides fairly quickly, and then I'm going to go into some of the tools and techniques that I've been using to do this. First of all, for those that don't know me, I'll do a little intro that way too. But what we're talking about is getting traffic and leads for your business. Now, I don't care what your business is. It doesn't matter. It could be a coffee shop. It could be, a post office box outlet. It could be an online business, an offline business, a garage, or, rest. It doesn't matter. If you don't have traffic coming into the business or leads coming into the business, more importantly, and I'll explain the difference, you really don't have much of a business. And that's why this is something that's been on my mind for a while. I've been able to, kind of uncrack the code, but I've never really showed all of the code before, and I've decided I wanted to do that. Some ways, whenever I did, I thought, I don't want to tell everybody everything, but you know what? I'm going to go for it. But the key thing is you really have to have traffic and lead generation down for your business, or you really are kind of in a hobby. It's like you're just working like crazy trying to do stuff, and you're making no progress, and you won't make any money. But the key thing is once you've mastered traffic and lead generation, it's a little bit like a license to print money. Now, I honestly hate putting money pictures in anything, but that's all I could think of in this way is once you get the process down, okay, and it'll take time. I'm not saying you will have the process down tonight in one presentation, but once you get it down, you can repeat it over and over and over again, and that's why it can be like a license to print money. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight very quickly, I'm going to share a little bit of more info about myself. I'm going to then talk about, why you need leads, and it's probably fairly obvious. I'm going to talk about the kinds of things that I like to promote. I don't know what you promote. Some of the people in here that I do know closely, I do, but I don't know why you want to, or what you promote. I'm going to talk about a reason why you need an autoresponder, and hopefully a good one. I'll show you a little bit more about setting it up. I'll show you how to create what I call a lead magnet, and I'll get into the detail of that later on. How you capture leads for your lead magnet. You know, when people want your lead magnet, how you capture the leads. I'm going to also go into ways then to get traffic. Once you've got yourself a lead magnet, you got to get that part set up before you can do any traffic generation. You don't want to just be publishing, say, a sales link to an offer. And I'll explain why later. But once you get your lead generation, lead capture machine put together and assembled, then you start promoting. And then I'm going to show you some of the slower but free ways to promote, and then some of the much faster and almost instant ways to promote. I will share where and how I get my traffic. In some ways, some of it's free. In some ways, some of it's paid. Okay. I'll show how I monitor my traffic. In other words, especially if you're doing paid traffic, you want to monitor it. Even if you're doing free, you want to monitor it to a degree, because otherwise you don't know where your leads are coming from and what methods you're doing are working for you. And then we'll wrap up. There'll be a bonus at the end. I really appreciate you guys who have come on live. I have a bonus that I'm going to be giving you at the end of the event. This will probably be a 2-hour session. You can work along with me. You could create along the side. You can ask questions. I will, and I think I have enabled the questions. Let me just double check that. And generally, though, we're trying to really get into this in a big way so you can make a lot of progress quickly. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing. For those, some of you I know recently, some of you I've known for a long time, but in general, let me tell you who I am. I'm a baby boomer. I am not a spring chicken. I'm a 61-year-old guy. I live in a small town in Ontario, Canada, called Cambridge. Where that is it's about 1 hour north of Niagara Falls. Okay, so we go down to Niagara Falls once in a while and see it, but it's, I've been seeing it all my life. Why is the screen blurred? James Chandler, I have no idea. It shouldn't be. Is it blurred for anyone else? Maybe somebody else could answer that. I can't do anything about it, James. I'm using it. It's crystal clear on my end, and it's okay for other people. It might be your bandwidth on your computer. If you have internet open on anything else, you might want to shut it down. So anyway, back to what we're doing. It's okay for you other guys that just said no. It is clear. Can maybe somebody just say it that way and that way? Okay, thanks, James. Cool. Okay, so as I said, I'm a baby boomer from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada, about an hour north of Niagara Falls. I go into the U.S. very frequently. I've been traveling for a long time. I'm married. I have 2 grown children. My wife and I have been married for 40 years, believe it or not. I've worked and provided for my family for well over 30 years. Now, my kids I don't have to provide for anymore. My retirement we do, our travel we do, and things like that. We don't have a big need for cash as the way we used to. The kids' college is done and, all that kind of thing. But now, what we need is purely for our own usage and things like that. I like what I'm doing. This is what I do. I work online. I don't work for anybody else. This is it. My wife is retired. What I do online is my income, aside from other incomes that we have and pensions we have and things like that. So, a little bit more about my background. I worked as an executive in a corporate job, basically Fortune 1000 world, running sales and marketing with a number of companies over many, many years. But about 4 years ago, I basically had enough. I was getting more and more miserable. I was getting a little bit cranky, and I was getting a little harder to work with. I was traveling nonstop. I was away from my family. I was honestly traveling almost every week. And not only that, even when I wasn't traveling, the company I was with, they were really asking me to work ridiculous hours. I didn't feel any thanks or satisfaction in it. Even the compensation, I was making good money, but it was just a fairly new company, and they were really looking for people who wanted to work about 15 hours a day. At that point in my life, I didn't want to do it. So I got miserable. I wasn't happy. My wife wasn't happy. She wanted me to deal with it. My boss was a bit of a pain in the butt too. And basically, in a long story short, I had to do something. And Bonnie was upset about it, and I had to do something. So something had to change. And rather than continuing to be a corporate slave in an unfulfilling job, one day I simply just went in and I got up and quit. I didn't have a plan B. My plan B was go home and get my sanity back, get my life back. I'll worry about money later on. Okay, now, not everybody can do that. I could do that. But that was, I just had enough, and it was time to do it. So I decided I would turn to the internet to make a full-time income. Now, just so you know, by the way, guys, just to give you a heads up, this isn't a long presentation that's going to culminate in a big sales pitch. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to do things. Okay, we're going to show you how to do things. There will be some tools that I show that you can get. It's totally up to you to get them, but this is not a long drawn out sales presentation. This is just kind of giving the preamble. So, so I started working online, and the typical sales pitch is, so I've, all of a sudden I'm making millions, right? Well, the answer is wrong. Okay. And I know, you guys aren't making millions. Some of you are doing very well. I'm doing very well now, but the answer is wrong. I didn't make millions right away. In fact, I struggled. Okay. I bought some products. I bought some tools. One of the products, I kind of laugh about it now. It said I was going to build an online empire. And it was this, I was quite excited about it. And the online empire was a bunch of advertising oriented sites where I'd get paid by Google advertising, writing about all kinds of topics. And I wrote about topics that I didn't know anything about because maybe there was some good product that I could sell that was related to that topic. I wrote about things like back pain and, I can't remember all the stupid things. Acne. I wrote about acne. Here I was, at the time, 57 years old, and I had a website devoted to acne. Lauren, I can't do anything about it. Maybe the replay will be better, but it's crystal clear on my end, and I have no way. I have nothing else running right now, so I don't know what else I can do about it. But the other people are saying it's okay. So again, if there's something you can do on bandwidth on your end, feel free. But anyway, after working for on my empire, after 6 months, I earned a grand total of $38. But I actually started to discover what I'm going to show you tonight. So there was a validity, and it was worthwhile going down the path that I went. But I don't really feel like everybody else should have to go down that path. But what I discovered was some ways to get traffic and leads to my business. Okay. And I discovered it in different ways, but it took time. It took time. And again, I wanted forever to come out with a presentation where I could share some of it, not all of it in one night. It's hard to do it in one night, but share some of it with people so that, they'll not have to go through what I've gone through myself. In one company, I actually earned, and this was an early slide from about a year ago. I just don't have a current one. I ended up earning about $91,000 from one company, all based on the traffic that I had done. Okay. I don't have the current one. This was $50,000. This would have been a year and a half, 2 years ago. I actually stopped promoting the company, and I topped out around $90,000. I would have liked to have gotten it over 100, but you know what? 90 was fine. I also get paid through PayPal through one of the businesses I'm in. This year, I'm around $14,000 in that. And that's really going quite well. In fact, it's actually growing. And I expect I'll top around $10,000 on it this month, in 1 month. So there's a reason why, I'm doing well. And it kind of shows that what I'm going to teach you tonight is valid, okay? And I'm doing all that based on doing what I'm about to teach you right now. So let's get started. I've given you a bit of an intro. I'm going to back up, though. There are things that not everybody knows. I realize we have a wide variety of people on here. I don't know the skills of everybody, so I'm going to go back to very square one and then get in a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper as we go. So let's get started. So first of all, If you want leads and traffic, I think I can assume that you have something that you want to promote. I don't know what that is. It could be physical. It could be digital. By a physical product, I mean, lotions and potions and pills and things like that, or it could be even an Amazon product you want to promote that, people go to your link and get commission. It could be also something that you create, or it could be something that somebody else creates. When somebody else creates it, you typically are going to be selling it as an affiliate. Okay. Now, the people that I know here are connected as affiliates, but there are other people in the session that I don't know personally at this point. So I don't know what you do. But many of us are affiliates, because the cool thing about an affiliate model is you can get paid commission to promote something, but you don't have to create that product yourself. Okay. So affiliate marketing, there's all kinds of places you can get products, okay, to promote. ClickBank is one, ClickBank. And I don't want you to go there now, but ClickBank has a bunch of products. Some are good, some are not good. They usually pay somewhere in the way of 25 to 50% commission. That commission is usually delayed 2 or 3 weeks from the time somebody buys from you. Okay. JVZoo is another one. Now, JVZoo, most of the products there will pay 50% commission. Some will even once in a while pay a little bit more. Those commissions are also usually delayed unless you've already had a lot of sales of other products. Okay. Once you've gotten a lot of sales, maybe 100 or 2, usually the vendors will allow instant payments to you. But most people don't have that. So usually those payments to you are delayed as well. Again, the benefit is you don't have to create these products, and there's a wide variety. Now, Amazon products, typically it's about a 3, and I think it goes as high as 6% commission. And yeah, those are delayed a bit too, but frankly, the commission rate's so low, you'd have to do an awful lot of selling to make it worth your while. So I don't really care if it's delayed or not. I'm just not interested. Now, some people do make a business out of selling Amazon products. I'm just not into it. I don't do it. I did do that partially in that first 6 months where I made a grand total of $38. And that's where I learned my lesson of it was something I didn't want to do. What I personally prefer is digital products. Digital products mean, it's typically software, courses, training, things that can be delivered digitally over the web. I like them because there is no shipping. I like them because people can make instant purchase decisions. And I like them because a digital product doesn't have to be recreated the way a physical product is. Usually they have much better commissions, and most of them are instant, or a lot of them are instant. So you can make more money at it, and usually that money is immediate when somebody buys it. Now, there are thousands of companies. You could be also doing it via network marketing. As you know, there are thousands of companies in that. Some of the products there, most of the products, in fact, are physical products. Some of them are digital, and the commissions can go anywhere from maybe a low of 3%, but you might get it on multi-people in a downline, and all of your upline gets money as well when you make sales, things like that. And occasionally you come across one or two that's 100%. I sell 3 different companies, and the commissions range from 40% to 100%, and 2 of the 3 are instant. Okay, so 2 of the 3 products I sell is instant. One, there's a couple-week delay. I can live with that. Okay, but the key thing is, these are the reasons that I kind of like selling these kinds of products. The commission can be higher, and the turnaround is quicker. And especially when you get into paid traffic, which we'll be talking about later, you want to have that turnaround. Otherwise, you're out some significant cash flow along the way. Now, why I really like these is these kinds of products give me the motivation and the opportunity to make good money from each sale. Depending on what it is, you may make, a couple $100 from each sale. It might be a recurring commission from each sale. It depends on the company, but you figure out what the average sale price is of the products you're selling. And if it's a good recurring commission, it means not only are you motivated to be selling it, but it also means that you have the ability to invest in the tools and in the traffic that you need or I need to constantly grow the business. So that's why I like a higher commission product. It's also why I like instant payments. And having those things in my, product kit as the stuff I sell means I can then afford to go out and buy some tools and implement those tools and even buy traffic to the offers that I have. Okay. So that's kind of it. So let's break the whole business down. What we're doing here is we're all about getting leads and sales to your business. In order to have leads, people have to see your business, obviously. Okay. If you just put out a sales page, if people look at it and they don't do anything, you don't have a lead. You have nothing. Okay. But when you put out leads, or when you put out a sales page, or when you get leads, some leads will buy. Okay. But the issue is you want to get leads, not just putting out a sales page here and there, because what happens if they don't buy immediately? Okay. If you just put a sales page link on Facebook or wherever you want to post it, if you put that page there, somebody looks at it and says, interesting. Okay. And they're on to the next thing. Chances are they'll never see it again. And if they don't buy immediately, you've got nothing to show for what you've done. So you need to capture the leads before you do anything else. Okay. Now, if somebody says on Facebook to you and you're chatting with them, they want to join, well, then you don't even give them a sales page. You give them the link to join. Okay. You don't have to do a lead capture when you're talking with somebody directly. If you have a join link, you may have a sales page link. Either of those is fine. But when you're just popping things out for the world to see, you must have a capture page. You must, because otherwise, if they look at it for a moment with just a sales page, they're gone for good. If they have a capture page and they're interested enough to say, that's curious, let's see more about it, they put their email in there, well, then you have a lead. Okay. See, the reason it's important is not only do most people not buy things the first time they see them, many times it takes exposure over 5, 6 days, 2 weeks. I've had somebody buy something probably as much as 2 months after they first opted into my list. Okay. So you never know. But the point is, if I showed that guy that bought 2 months later, if I showed him a sales page 2 months ago, do you think he would have remembered my sales page and where to go and where to find it and all that 2 months later? So the focus that I really want anybody connected with me to be doing is capturing leads. That's the number one thing to do. Again, if you're doing chatting or other things and somebody says they just want to join you, buy your product, whatever, obviously you just sell it to them, okay? But in general, we got to capture leads before we even get to that stage. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. So you got to capture a lead. You also get to then do ongoing marketing to those people. You get to send, they opt into your page, you take them then to the sales page, and then you have a series of autoresponder messages that they will get. Okay, and we do that all through a tool called an autoresponder. Now, I'm going to show you autoresponder. I'm not here to sell you an autoresponder. I will have a trial if you're interested, but the key thing is I'm just trying to make sure you got this concept down, because this is probably the number one ticket to success in this business. Okay, you need to have an autoresponder so that you can capture the leads. The autoresponder is a database that has all the names in the email addresses within the database, and it also has a tool to send ongoing emails to all of your leads over a period of time. So the people that opt in today to your list will get whatever message you said is for day one. Tomorrow, those people will get automatically, that's why it's called autoresponder, it'll automatically respond with message 2 tomorrow and message 3 the next day, or whenever you said to do it. That happens automatically. You don't have to do anything about it. Okay? That's what an autoresponder does. Tomorrow, if somebody else opts in, they're going to get the day 1 message, whereas the person who opted in today will get the day 2 message. Now, that's very fundamental for some of you, but I just wanted to get that out there so you understand it, okay? Because it's critical. This is critical. Now, some systems have their own autoresponder. You join company X, Company X may have their own autoresponders. And I don't know what companies you're in. I know what companies I'm in. Generally, those autoresponders are not as good as the main commercial ones. Okay. System autoresponders usually aren't all that great. They're kind of there. They're usually not too expensive, and they have a bunch of functionality. Some of you use, some you won't, but they're not kind of as mission critical, business quality as I would like to use. Okay. They may be cheap, but frankly, if they don't work that well, they're expensive, right? But top quality commercial ones aren't all that expensive either. In fact, they're kind of, I would consider, dirt cheap. And the cool thing about autoresponders are commercial ones, you can use them for everything. Typical system ones are only focused on that system. If you read their terms, it's to use it around that system. Typical system ones allow you to have one email campaign. Commercial ones that I'm showing, that I'll show here, you can have as many email campaigns as you want. They can be completely different. They might all focus on one or two products, but you have control of all of them. And you can send an email out to every campaign at the same time if you so choose. Okay, so commercial ones personally are the way to go. Now, I've been doing them for 4 years. I used to use one called Aweber. It is a big time one. Another one that came on the scene, it wasn't there when I first started, was called GetResponse. I started using GetResponse as well. And after using both of them, I used them both for a couple of years. I realized that I was getting a lot more business from my GetResponse account than I was from my follow-ups in my Aweber account. That's basically, it's a little bit complicated, but it's to do with email deliverability. When you send emails from certain autoresponders, they have better servers, maybe more security, whatever, but they have ways to get your emails delivered to the people. When you send an email out of any autoresponder, that doesn't guarantee it hits the inbox of any person that's in the autoresponder. Unfortunately, there's all kinds of different traps. Even Google, if you look in Google, you know, there's a spam folder, there's a promotions folder, there's a social media folder. I'm astounded by the emails that I get from some big time marketers that are going into all of the wrong folders, and that unless I go there, I don't really go there that often, but once in a while I'm curious and I'll go see some big time marketer and his email's in my spam folder. Okay. And in fact, I even had one a few weeks ago, and it was funny because he was trying to tell me how to do email marketing. And I'm thinking, if you can't even get your email delivered to me, don't tell me you're going to tell me about email marketing. Okay. So GetResponse is the one I've used. It's the one when I get involved in one-on-one training with anybody. It's the one I have. So it's the one I teach with. And GetResponse has a trial at getresponsetrial.com. Now, that is an affiliate link. Let me be clear. I don't like to try to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. That is my own affiliate link to the trial. But it doesn't cost you any more if you got it without it than it does if you get it with it. One of the cool things, though, is also with the GetResponse trial, you get a 90-day course on list building, all with the focus of taking you to the point of building a 10,000 person email list. Now that's massive. I've had as much as about 8,000 at one point. Right now, I've cleaned out a lot of my email contacts, and I'm probably around 1,500 or so. But I've seen that course. I just honestly haven't taken the time myself to get it. But it is something you get free by getting GetResponse. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my GetResponse account. This is a workshop, so I don't want to purely show you slides. I want to show you how it works and how I use it, and some things to do and some things to avoid. My mouse is acting up here. Let me just see if I can. I'm trying to get it to navigate over to the side. 1 second. Why would it do that? There we go. There we go. Okay, 1 sec. I'm going to screen share a browser window. Let me open up a browser window first. And now I'll screen share that window. Stand by. I'll pick the other one. Actually, I'm going to have to open up another browser window. Stand by for a sec. There we go. Let me just navigate over. And I'm going to log into my account, and then I'll go back and get my screen share. Did I lose everybody? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. My window vanished. So I just have to exit full screen here so I can see my other browser. And now exit full screen in that one. That's funny. When I do that, what's happening is the webinar on air window is vanishing altogether on me. And it's just a bit of a nuisance trying to find it again. There we go. Sorry about this. Thanks, Marie. I see that you're seeing your pictures. Okay, yeah. So I think the bandwidth issue is on other ends. I just have to, I'm still struggling trying to navigate this. 1 second here, guys. Sorry about that. I've done regular Hangouts before, but I haven't done them with this platform. So that's my hiccup here. I'm going to have to get that down better because I'm going to be doing this a few times tonight. There we go. Okay, finally. So there I have my Get Response account. So what I was saying is you can have as many campaigns in Get Response as you want. Again, those of you who already have an autoresponder, I'm just going to go through this really fast. But I do think it's important enough for that people should understand this. So let me navigate my Get Response account here. And I can maximize that window a little bit more now. So within Get Response, when you set up a trial, you have a single campaign. A campaign is basically a combination of contacts and emails, okay? So you set up a campaign around whatever it is you're going to sell, all right? And you'll see here I have, and by the way, this is just one campaign, a brand new one, but I have all kinds of campaigns in here, okay? Each of these is a separate database with names in it, plus a separate messaging group of messages that go to that campaign. So within a campaign, I'll give you an example here. You know, this is just one that's recent. I just sent out an email to that. I had about 4% open rate. If I look at the contacts, I don't know exactly how many contacts on that one. In this case, now what I cleaned out a bunch of people. I have 1,500 contacts in here right now. I can separate that by the number of campaigns and select a specific campaign and just pull up the people in one campaign. In fact, I won't do that. And again, I shouldn't be showing these email addresses anyway. The key thing is that I wanted to say is you can manage emails for a campaign, and those are in this case called messages. And your messages go out in two different fashions. One is an autoresponder message. That would be the time sensitive ones based on somebody who signs up today will get today's, tomorrow they'll get tomorrow's, and whatever other day you have, you can send them out. And so you basically here, you can manage the autoresponders in any given campaign. First of all, you create them, but then once you've created them, you can manage them. So here you'll see a campaign I have where I'm sending out a message on day one. I'm sending out a message on the next day. That would be as soon as somebody opts in, they'll get that one. The next day, they'll get this one. The next day, they'll get this one. The next day, I actually have 2 going out, okay? Then another 2, there's a reason for that. And then you'll see different days here. So the cool thing is within this autoresponder, and you can have as many days as you want. I mean, in this case, I might have probably that many, I don't know. Let's see if I have any more. Beyond that, I have a couple more. So you see I'm down to 44 days. Now I don't send one every day. Initially, when people are interested, they're interested. So you send a bunch then, but you then space them out a little bit more later. Okay. But that's the cool thing about this. You can have as many emails as you want. You can add ones easier. And even when you have multiple campaigns, you can add an email that you wrote for one campaign into another. Okay. So it's really why having a pro type tool like this is worthwhile. Okay. The other thing is because you can have multiple campaigns, you have the benefit of, say, if somebody went through this autoresponder, went through all 45 days and didn't do anything. You know, maybe they're still opening up the emails for some reason, but they didn't do anything. Well, then I have a decision to make. Do I want to start sending them all over again? I could. You might get an unsubscribe fairly quickly. Don't know. But you could also then just move them, and you can move them in bulk into a different campaign. And so that's, when you think about it, one of the big benefits of having a system where you can have more than one campaign in your account, okay? And they're all in one account. So I can select a different campaign, a different, message, put it in here, or move people to one campaign to another, things like that. Now, how you set up a new campaign in something like this, I'll just take 1 minute in this. Again, if you aren't familiar with an autoresponder, it's as simple as I go down here, I say create a campaign. You'd do this if you were brand new. Say it's Patrick's webinar campaign, just for better. Create the campaign. I can add contacts to it myself. I can even do it manually if I want. I can then create my first newsletter if I want, or my first autoresponder message. I didn't explain the difference between newsletter and autoresponder. The autoresponder is the time-based sequence. A newsletter is one that I will send out immediately. So obviously, you don't do this with a new campaign with nobody in it, because nobody would get the email. You can also edit your settings. You describe what the campaign is about. You can put in profile information. You can have a logo if you want around your campaign. I actually do that with some company-specific campaigns. You can set up a permission-based system, and I will give you some best practices in this as well. If you haven't done this at all, opt-in. All professional autoresponder systems have the ability to have what they call double opt-ins or single opt-ins. A double opt-in is when somebody signs up to go into your autoresponder, and instead of getting the first message immediately and going to a sales page immediately, they're giving a message to confirm their email. And then they got to go back to their email. They'll get that message. They click a link in that email, and then it'll take them to the thank you page, and then it'll send out the first email. The autoresponder companies typically will ask you to do that. It's kind of to prove that it's not spam. But I don't send spam. And I think there are pluses and minuses to using double opt-ins. The minus is there's a lot of people, for some reason, never go back to their email and don't confirm. So especially when you're doing paid traffic, if they haven't confirmed, you don't get to send them any emails, and you've just wasted whatever money you were doing on paid traffic. The negative is if you don't do a double opt-in, people can use a dummy email address, an email account that they'll never open, might even be an invalid one, although some autoresponders check that no matter what. And they'll get the thank you page. You'll have them in your email list, but they're not going to see anything because they used a bad email address. Well, that's a good reason to have double opt-ins. However, I think the bad reason offsets it. A lot of people don't go to do the confirms. So in any autoresponder, you decide whether you want to have what they call here confirmed opt-ins or double opt-ins. So I typically turn it off. If somebody puts in a bad email address, so be it. But at least this way, the people that put in a good one are going to do it. Okay. So once I've done that, you will set up an email. I'm not going to get into all the training about get response, but I wanted to explain a little bit about it. Another thing I will tell you, though, is you have to be careful with the messages you send out in get response or any autoresponder. If I look at let me create a newsletter. And again, this is pretty cool. They have a nice graphically based creator, or an old one. I never use that. I use this new one here. I give it a message. Say this is what I want. Hey, here's my webinar info, or here's your webinar info as an example. I go to here and I create my message. Now, they have predefined templates within professional autoresponders. Now, they're really nice, and you can use them. I tend not to use them, but some people really like them. I mean, I like that one because it's generic, but it looks good. See that one that says welcome there? That's pretty cool. I don't like to send out ones like this, and I'll kind of explain why in a minute or two. You know, this looks like just an ad. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. But the ones that look like, you know, that's a pretty clean looking one. I kind of dig that. But I've also just set up my own. And once you set one up, you can use it over and over again. So here I've set up, now you'll see mine are emails. I set up one here that this is a really, I think, a nice one to use, something you could use yourself. I just click use that template. I don't have to create that again. Okay. And you'll see now that I'm not going to do that's if this was on a phone, and if I delete that picture, or I can go in and resize that if I wanted. But I simply now put in my message here. Now, I never want people to think I have anything to hide. When I send out emails, when I my signature, I tend to put in a picture. I keep it small. I'll explain why in a minute. I then put some contact information in. I do that all the time. And I use this template over and over again. Occasionally, I use one of the other ones because I've set some of the other ones to have an image in the middle of the email. This one is one where I simply have text here in my email, and I would type my message here and so forth. And there's my message, and I am ready to send it out. Now, one of the things GetResponse has is ways to check whether or not this message will go to spam. Okay, there's a couple things you can do. You can send a test to yourself, or you can run a spam test on. Now, I haven't got any info in here. It might, I don't know whether it would or not, but it's just garbage message. But I run that. I basically send a test info all to myself, because I check my messages in Gmail. If I receive my message in Gmail, it's probably going to go into Gmail. And especially if I receive them in my standard inbox in Gmail, it will probably go into Gmail when a reader sees it as well. And it'll go into their inbox. That's where I want it to go. Okay. But I also can check a spam score for it so that I'm in good shape. Okay. And I want to make sure it's at a high enough level. And I'm not showing you all that tonight, but I want to make sure that this is not going to be flagged and trapped as spam and nobody sees it. Okay. So it's just one of the extra beautiful tools that they have in this one, and admittedly in Aweber as well, I believe. Now, they didn't have a spam checker in Aweber then, but I expect they do now. Okay. But GetResponse has it. I'll give you one other caution to avoid the spam filters is that you do not want your sending email address, the one you're sending from, which you set up in your autoresponder. You do not want that to be a free email address like a Hotmail or Gmail or stuff like those kinds of your Yahoo email address. You want it to be an email address associated with a domain name. Okay, there's more to it. I'm not going to go into it any further just for the sake of time, but you do want to use a regular commercial email address. It could be, your name at yourname.com, and you buy yourname.com. You don't have to buy a Gmail service. You just buy the domain name and you'll get an email address associated with that. And that will help you get your emails delivered. So with that said, I'm going to get out of Get Response. I just want to go back to my webinar present screen here. I'll tell you, navigation of this tool is a little tricky for the first time. There we go. And I'm going to get back to my presentation again. Before I go any further, guys, did you get anything out of what I showed you in Get Response? Did you know you should use a commercial email address, not a Gmail or Hotmail address? Let me know here. Let me know how we're going. I want to see some feedback. While I get that feedback, because it takes a minute, I'm going to open up the presentation again as well. I know now. Yeah, thanks. Well, that's why you're here, Jeanette. I appreciate that. That's exactly why we're doing this. Thanks, John. So let me continue again. Again, navigating this thing is driving me nuts. I got to find where my slide presentation went to now. I've always used straight Google Hangout, not within this thing webinar on air, and it's just a little bit funky. But let me get back into Keynote. There it is, and here's my presentation. So let's get back into that now. Yeah, Marie, thank you very much. Geralda, that's great. You know what, guys? I do appreciate that. I'm just gonna keep on plugging here. I got lost in there. So you kind of know what to do. I mean, if you want to, yeah, that's it, Shahida. It may not get caught. Look, you'd think Gmail wouldn't plug Gmail or wouldn't treat Gmail addresses poorly, but it may. And every course you take on email marketing will tell you to do it. Okay, so especially if you have a little bit older domain, one that's been around for 6 months or more, and you can put an email address on it, make that your email address, your sending email address from your Get Response account or whatever other autoresponder you have. It'll just help a lot, and that's key. I mean, if you can't get the emails out there to people, you want to, it's just not going to work, right? So that'll help. Okay, and not every, again, I get 4%, 6%, 10% email open rate on my emails. Obviously, even if with 1,500 people, that means 150 will see an email, maybe 100, maybe 50, who knows, right? But at least they're not going to spam. So that's the good news. Again, just on that, if you want to get a trial, getresponsetrial.com, and you'll get a 90-day course. Now, let's talk about a lead magnet. Now, again, a lot of you may know about it, and some of you don't. Systems that you promote, whatever they may be, and I know there's a variety here. Some systems may have one. They might have a free document or a free course that they get you that you can give away to get people into your sales funnel or into that system's sales funnel. But a lot don't. A lot will have a sales page to buy the product. But again, what are you giving to people? What are you giving them motivation to get into your sales funnel in the first place? You want to give some kind of, what I call an ethical bribe or a lead magnet to have somebody opt in your first place. Just the days of saying, subscribe to my list, I think are over. I mean, I don't know. I never subscribed to somebody's list just because they said subscribe to my list. I'll openly subscribe with a legitimate email address if somebody has something that I want to see or that I want to get. That's what all this is about, right? People want to know what's in it for them. Just think about it that way. Nobody will just subscribe. Even, people give email addresses away like they're dollars now, because they get a million emails. So, and I know that. Okay. Now I, again, don't use a bogus email address. When I subscribe to something, I use my main email address. I can unsubscribe, that's cool. I don't mind. That's all right. If somebody's not giving me any kind of value, well, I never open the emails anyway. I might as well unsubscribe and unclutter my email, right? But anyway, people want to know what's in it for them. A lead magnet, though, doesn't have to be a tricky thing to do. It could simply be a video. I mean, it could be a training like we've done tonight. Now, this is a tricky one because this takes me a lot of time to put this together, but and doing it. But it could be a video. A video you create. It could be a document. A PDF. You create a Word document. It could be something like 7 secrets to do this or that, or some kind of reviews on a bunch of tools or products or things like that. Something that people are interested in, something especially that people are interested in that also probably would be interested in your product. I mean, you don't do a lead magnet about weight loss to then promote a make money online business. You do a lead magnet about weight loss. Heaven forbid I would do one, by the way. But anyway, you do a lead magnet about weight loss to promote a weight loss product or service or membership or whatever, right? You do something that is relevant, okay? So you create your document. It might be a 1 or 2 page guide. It might be a 10-page guide. It might be just, 7 big secrets that you've got or something. You can do it yourself manually. It doesn't have to be that hard. It could be a video, something you record in 10 minutes, right? Could be a hangout that you've had. But something that is of relevant value to the people that are going to be interested in your thing. The other options are you can use, there are some attraction marketing systems out there that have created all kinds of things. That's one other example, and I'll show you that. Or there are PLR products that you can buy very cheaply, modify, and use, okay? Now, attraction marketing products, the one that I'm involved in, okay, has all kinds of stuff pre-built. They're not attracted to your network marketing opportunity. They are meant to be working alongside your network marketing opportunity. So they have all kinds of relevant stuff to the network marketing business, relevant training that you can give away. They also have paid training that people can buy. Okay, if you end up becoming a member. So it ends up to be an extra income stream for you, but it also is an extra way to promote your primary business. Okay, so the lead system attraction marketing program I am in, you can go later, and I'll send out a document with all the links in that later. Leadsystemmastery.ninja is a system that I use. That again is my link to it. I tend to get a link specific, so I'm not putting out ugly affiliate links and things. And some of them are short. That's a long one. I don't really like it that much, but anyway, I'll do that. Lead System Mastery is an example of an attraction marketing system. Now, private label rights material. I'll leave this for you to research later. Okay, and I'm not gonna, just because of this navigation thing going back and forth, I'll leave this for you to research later. Look up private label rights products later on, and you will find all kinds of stuff from $1 to $20. Sweet spot is probably around $8, and that they are going to give you something that you can give away or sell or break them up into emails if you want, or use your lead magnet. Some of them even will have an opt-in page already made for it. Okay, so for $7 to have all that put together, a lead magnet, a lead magnet that you can use, an opt-in page if they have it, or a sales page. And it might be a product you can give. It might be a product you can sell. So when you look up, I'm going to leave that as research for you later on, just for time purposes here. You look up PLR, private label rights products. Do that tomorrow or whenever you have a chance, and you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that's out there. And there's some good quality stuff out there for literally a few dollars, right? And you basically download it, then upload it to your server if you have a server, or copy it and put it on your website if you have a website, or build a lead capture page yourself. And we'll show you how to do that coming up. Okay. But private label rights material is a great thing to get, because if you don't feel like you're an expert now on something, well, you can look like pretty good expert by using some of the material. Now, I'll caution you a couple things. I find the graphics on an awful lot of them really cheesy. They just look like, kind of like crap in a lot of cases. I would generally try to create my own graphics. Up to you. If you have some skills to do that, you might be able to create something on Canva. I use a graphics tool called Logo Creator. It's a good one, but whatever you do, just don't use a cheesy graphic because it just doesn't reflect well, and it won't do well, right? Some PLR stuff has been around for years and it looks it. Okay. So you don't want to have something that looks crummy. Okay. But the cool thing is, the thing you should look at when you do this, by the way, is make sure that you have a giveaway right. They'll probably all have the ability to have a sales right, but you want to look, and they will show the rights when you look on whatever website you're looking on. Let me find you an example here. No, it's okay. I don't want to navigate back and forth. Just make sure when you look make sure you have some kind of giveaway right. That way you can use it for a lead magnet, and that's what we're talking about here. Okay, so let's continue on. Any questions about PLR before I move on, though? And I'll just navigate to the next slide, and let's see if any questions pop up. So now, the next thing is creating a lead capture page. And again, companies have them now. I know, Shaida, you're in a company. They have actually pretty good lead capture pages in that company. And I think they do very well. Okay, because I was involved in the company, as you know. But a lot of lead capture pages are not all that great. And a lot of company ones, depending on what you are in, are not that great. And as I mentioned, even sometimes the company's autoresponder systems are not that great. So I tend not to ever use any of them. Because again, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it well. And I want people to see my lead capture page in it be unique. Okay, and I'll show you some examples of some of them here as well. So I don't use the company ones, number one, because they're generic. Some of them, if the company's been around, some of those lead capture pages have been seen by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Well, so that, what's the chance of some person who's seen it many, many times already is going to magically opt into yours? And if you're doing paid traffic to it, and it's the same as 10,000 other people doing paid traffic, you're just not going to win that way. The other thing is you just don't have any control of them. Some of them are not that great, things like that. So I tend to, again, like to use my own. I use two different products to do lead capture pages. My first product is Lead Pages, and I'm going to log into my account just to show it to you. The second product I use is one called InstaBuilder, and I'll explain why I have two different ones. Okay, let me go back to Lead Pages. One sec. Navigate over again. Again, I hope things are going well. Any questions at all as I navigate? There, navigation's a little easier this time, beginning to have that browser window open. So I'm going to open up, one sec. I realize it's still on me right now. Okay, so I'm going to navigate into my lead pages account. And I'm, again, not holding any secrets back here. And this should be here up in a second. What do I think about ClickFunnels? John, that's a really good question. I do know ClickFunnels. I've tried it. I find it's very expensive for what you get. I don't know if you like it or a fan of it. The lead capture pages for the basic lowest level membership they don't have that many. And then to get into a more advanced level, it's like $100 a month, which is kind of expensive. So I did play around with it. I see some value for some other things. Like you can almost build an entire sales funnel and even a membership site with it. I see value there, but I don't see it. It's overkill for lead capture pages as far as price goes. And I thought fairly confusing to work with compared to lead pages. Okay. So I hope that helps. So I'm going to just open up. This is my lead pages account. Let me give you an example here. So within this account, this is pretty cool. I have the basic monthly, the lowest level membership they have. They have templates, and you can pick from a template. What I like about this is even if you are a brand new person online, never done this before, this is easy and simple, and it makes you look like a seasoned pro right away. And that's really what this is about. If you have some kind of web page that's just kind of generally ugly, looks ancient or dated, or the images are weird or stuff like that, you're just not going to win. The world, it's too competitive these days, right? So with lead pages, I can pick from one of many types of pages. They have free ones, and they've just introduced paid ones. I have never used a paid one. Some of them look pretty good, and they're only like $7 or $8. It's fine, but the free ones generally are fine for me. So if I wanted to create a page, for instance, I just select the template I want. I'm actually going to use one of these and create something just as a start for you. I've done this one a lot because this actually works really well. You'll have seen company ones that look like this. So I just picked that template, and all you go in and do is just modify your text. You change your text here. I could change my coloring if I like it. In fact, this color version of this has been used forever. So I've recently done this with a completely different look so that it just looks a little more attractive. And so that in this case, I did one that is what we call congruent to the sales page that the company had here. So this case here, say this background, I want to change that background color. This case, this company had a nice blue, oops, that's that background. 1 second. Menu circle, progress bar. Get my right one here. Inner box, that's the one I wanted, sorry. I just changed the background here to match the color that the sales page on this company one was using. And it was like that, okay? It was pretty much that color. And then the other color they had a bright red on the other parts of it. So I mean, skip this color here. I could change that one again here to match whatever that one was that I did approximately. And if I wanted to take time to design it, I would. But they also had bright red on their page here. This one is a little more of a burgundy kind of thing. So you can just change that as well. So in this particular case, I create a custom page of this, okay, and change my text, whatever I want. Very easy to change your text up here. Very easy to change your colors here. And then this kind of button style of this page I really like because it doesn't have the email address or name or phone number if those are the fields you wanted, for instance. It doesn't have it visible. People have to kind of have these, they call them a micro commitment. They click on one of those things and then it goes to the next page. And then in this setup here, you define which of the fields you want, okay? Now, by default, it'll give you those three, but you can disable those three. And then the whole system hooks in to, you know, your get response account, or at least if you have one of the main commercial autoresponders. Okay. Again, I don't know about system autoresponders. And again, it's also why I don't use them, is because everything will work with get response, or everything will work with Aweber, including lead pages. So I don't horse around. So I've created a bit of an ugly look with those colors, but the point I was trying to make is you can change it and make this your own. You change your text, you can change your colors of the text, all that kind of stuff, okay? And then when you're ready to connect it to your autoresponder, you do so here by integrating with your autoresponder here. A technique I use frequently, they have an integration, you can do it. This gets a little technical, they call it integrating with an API. I don't do that. I use integration with an HTML form, and I create the form in get response. I'm not going to take the time to do that tonight. And all you do is create a form. When you create a form, you're telling it, you know, what campaign it goes into, telling it the fields you want, and telling it what email to send out immediately. Once you've created it, it gives you this HTML code. All you do is copy it in get response, paste it here, save the thing, and you're done. And so this kind of thing enables me to create, you know, really, I mean, this is an ugly one, but really nice landing pages right away without a lot of effort. And I'll just show you a few examples of ones that I've created using the tool. Again, because it's key to have a good one. I just got to figure out how to navigate out of that without that. Come on. Go back to template. I want to leave the page. Some of the ones that I've created just as an example. These are, so where the templates are the templates, here's the pages that I've created. And I'll just give you examples of some here. And again, no secrets here. I'm very open to show my stuff. This is one simply that I've worked on, little video background, which is kind of cool. You can change the video background. You have a timer. You can set the timer and things like that. Again, this has a color scheme that is relevant to an offer that I'm promoting. So that's kind of a neat one. This is one like, I believe it's like the one that I just showed you earlier that I was creating, but this one had the colors done to match the offer that I was promoting. Okay. Once the person opts into this one, that these color schemes are congruent with the product or the sales page that people get into. I actually see I have to change a link down here, but I'll do that later on. Some other examples, and this is, I think, a fairly cool. Some other examples I've done are something along this line. This is a video that I had access to. And again, there's an opt-in page before this one. This is the thank you page. And then once people watch this video, if they click this, it'll take them to that company's website or the team website or whatever it is that we were promoting at that time. That's actually wasn't quite the one that I was looking for. Let me see here. Another example here. Simply a text one. I am not actually a fan of video opt-in pages. I like video on the thank you page, but not video on the opt-in page. Now, if I look like Brad Pitt, I might like video on the opt-in page a little bit more, okay? Or if I look like Angelina Jolie, I might like it a little bit more. You shouldn't be self-conscious about that, and that's not the only reason I don't like it, though. Why I don't like video on the opt-in page is I don't want people to prejudge anything before they get inside, okay? They can judge all they want when they get inside, but I don't want people to prejudge based on the video, okay? And I think people do so much judging by appearance It's disgusting. And why have it? You know, you could be subject to a race issue. You could be subject to an age issue. You could be subject to a sex issue. All of that comes across in video in advance. I want to get leads. And once that you get inside the leads, there might be a video on me. It might be it might be the founder of the company or whatever it is, but I'm not subjecting myself to any kind of prejudgment. Okay. And that's why I like non-video opt-in pages. Admittedly, I see some value. I mean, if they like it and they opt in and they've seen you in advance, there's maybe a little bit better chance that they're going to like the next video. But I honestly can tell you, I haven't seen as much as I think that's an interesting theory. In practice, it doesn't seem to have been played out. I've done much better with opt-ins and sales from a non-video opt-in page, but with a video on the sales page. Okay, and so that's where I go. So that's it. Now I'll give you here, I didn't have it in the link. If you're interested in lead pages, it'll be leadpages.ninja, and I'm just typing in the notes here in the presentation. Is where to go for that. And again, that is an affiliate link, but if you like it, it doesn't, you don't save money by not using one. Let me navigate back to the presentation, and we'll move on now. While I'm doing that, do you have any questions? Let me know if you have some questions. Thank you, Rona. That's a really good question. Do you split test that lead capture page? Because did you split test that lead capture because that lead capture page is supposed to be one of the highest converting? Wonder if you reduced your conversions. I'm not sure if you're referring to the one where I changed the colors. If you're referring to the one that it's like a survey and it was beige and burgundy and I changed my colors to blue and red, I did not compare. It is one of the highest converting styles of lead capture page. I did not split test to compare if the beige one worked better than the blue one. However, lead pages does have the ability to do that. You can have two lead capture pages and compare the results. Yeah, got it, Rona. So yeah, I understood what you were saying. No, you know what? I didn't. I created that lead capture page fairly quickly. I was really pleased with how it matched the sales page of the company that I'm promoting with that. And so I wasn't too worried about it. But it's a reasonable question. I think why it converts so well is not based on the color. I think it converts well because there's a little bit of a micro engagement, say what it is. Was it Facebook or email or whatever? And then they don't even know that it's what fields they have to fill in until they hit the button. When they hit the button, then it'll pop up the fields. So once they're in there, their people are so far in that it's no big deal to fill in the fields. Speaking of fields, by the way, just so that, again, those of you, I know Rona's been around quite a while doing this, probably as long as I. Put in the fields that you want. I typically put in name and email address. Once in a while, I'll just do email address, and once in a while, if there's a reason that I will follow up with people on the phone, I will ask for a phone number. But I will say you get less, a lot less people when you ask for a phone number. Even though a phone number may not be a mandatory field, you will get less opt-ins. Second, you'll get a lot of bogus phone numbers. So the key thing is decide if you want the phone numbers and you're going to call them, put it there. But if you're not going to call them, then don't lower your number of opt-ins because you're getting some data that you're not going to use, right? That's the key thing about it. So use the fields you want. I use name and email. I don't think people are scared about putting their name in. You know, some guys who sell solo ads and that, we'll talk about that later, ask you, they don't want to even have an email, but their job is to get clicks. My job is to do business, right? Their job is to have people click on your email. It doesn't matter if they buy. Their job is done when somebody just clicks on the link, right? My job is to get it further than that. I want their name. I want their email so I can have the name in my emails as I follow up, things like that. Okay, so that's that. So Lead Pages Ninja is my account for that, or my affiliate link for that if you want it. Again, I think the base account is $37 a month. It's very reasonable for the quality. I mean, even if you don't have a website, you can use Lead Pages and everything's done, and it makes you look like a pro. Now, that example, by the way, that I was showing, even though it is a high converting one, there are a lot of other more sophisticated, fancier types of things there. You can have sales pages. You can even have membership oriented and launch pages and things like that. So it's pretty cool stuff. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to take a little sip here before I continue. If anybody else has questions, let me know. The next thing I want to do is really fast. And this is Rona, actually, you will know this. The fellow who is involved in this product, at least on the sales end, I don't think he created it, is someone that, Rona, you and I knew a few years ago. But the product is called InstaBuilder. Now, I'm going to just quickly, again, log into a different account. Why you would consider something like InstaBuilder is Lead Pages, as I said. I think it's great. It's the main one that I use, okay? Once in a while, I use InstaBuilder. I think some people will like InstaBuilder because they hate paying a subscription. They hate paying a monthly subscription, you know, even if it may be the best product on the market, and I think it is. People don't necessarily like it. So InstaBuilder is a one-time payment, and they really do quite nice things. So I shouldn't have gone away. I probably should have just navigated right back. 1 second. I'll go into one of my websites again, and I'll show you this. Let me just get it up here. So this is kind of cool. If you want your own, rather than going to the InstaBuilder site, I'm going to actually show it to you within one of my websites. And now I just got to switch my navigation. 1 second. So this website that you'll see here in a second this is actually a new website that I only created about 2 weeks ago. I really haven't done any promotion with it at all. It's called cashfunnels.club. And I'm setting some stuff up in there, but I put InstaBuilder on this one for a reason, and I'm going to use it on this one. And how InstaBuilder works, let me just open up my window a little bit bigger here so I can navigate. Sorry, I opened up my webinar window. I want to open up my InstaBuilder window. Let me change tack here. There we go. InstaBuilder, basically, it's pretty cool. InstaBuilder, you can create opt-in pages, sales pages, membership pages, sales funnels, all kinds of things with it, and they're really easy, and they have some very, very nice designs. The nice thing about it is, you know, it's I don't know, it's about $50 or $60, but it's a one-time only payment. And we'll go there in a moment. So if you wanted to create a new page, if you have a website, again, you need a website to do this, a WordPress site. This is the back of a WordPress site I've created. Create a new page. You select the template you like, and as you can see, they are really nice looking. Could be a text-based opt-in. It could be a video-based opt-in. One with a picture, just as an example. If I preview it, let's see what that looks like. you know, there you go. Fairly basic, but again, you go in and modify your text and be done. So you basically would choose it. I'm previewing. If that's the one I wanted to choose, I would choose it, and then I go modify. Show you another example here, because this is one we actually have created something with. Preview this one. And in this one, it's in a video. Now, what we've done with this one is we've got a sales page, and we've actually created a couple sales pages, and again, an order button and so forth. Okay. Now, you can have a matching opt-in page before the sales page, obviously. But basically, with all this stuff, you just go in and start editing once you've selected the one you want. Again, I'm previewing, but if I say chose that one, now I have now I'm into an editor, and I can start making changes and so forth. The nice thing is about theirs, by the way, which Lead Pages doesn't have, is if you have multiple videos, you can drag and drop and put multiple videos on a page. Lead Pages has they've just recently made a change, but all their templates are kind of static. You can turn things on or off. You can edit them. You can embed in different video wherever they have a video, but you can't just add as much of anything else as you want. They've recently just changed that, and they have like a web page builder, just like this is, but the existing templates, they don't have that for yet. They've enabled it in some, but not all the others. So this one has the flexibility of adding other sections, or let's see, which one's the video? If I wanted a video, oh, here it is. If I wanted another video in another section, I could, oops, wasn't that it? Well, maybe I should make a section that's big enough, but basically that's the idea. You drag it over. There we go. It's down below there. And oh, my mouse is frozen up again on me here. Okay, guys, my mouse is totally froze. Let me see what happens here. There we go. Okay, I'm back. So, you know, you could drag another video in, make changes and all that. Now, I'm not going to go through a big navigation. If you want to go to, let's get back to the slides again. If you want to go back to, let's pull up my slides. This is the website that I was just on, cashfunnels.club/go Instabuilder. And Shahida, you have Instabuilder. Cool. And Rona does too. Oh, neat. All right. So again, the cool thing about Instabuilder is reasonable price, no subscription, no monthly bill. Again, I tend to use honestly Lead Pages more, but I see value with Instabuilder, and we've just recently built with a team a sales funnel with it entirely, and it's working really well. First of all, the sales funnel is working well, but it really was quick to use it. So very simple and nice tool, inexpensive, and no subscription. So I see value on that as well. Now let's get back to the whole topic. Finally, and it's probably the most important part, but I really had to get through the setup here. Where are you getting traffic? Now, some of us have been around a long time, and we've done traffic in a lot of ways, a lot of it free ways, things like blogging, social media, YouTube, Facebook groups. There are so many free ways to go out and get traffic that, you know, you can do it. You can spend it as much time as you want doing it. The pluses and minuses are, well, obviously the plus is free. The minus is generally it's time consuming. It's highly competitive in a lot of cases. I mean, Rona, I know you're a person who's, you know, kind of into SEO the way I used to be. You know, search engine optimization. Well, it used to be okay when there are only maybe 10 million websites out there. Now that there are 100 million, it's getting pretty hard to get a web page ranked quickly. right? Or you can spend an awful lot of time doing it. So the other thing is, unless you're able to get something, if you're using something like search engine optimization, unless you're able to get some really high value keywords or high traffic keywords, you just don't get a lot of volume. So I spent a couple years blogging, and I did pretty well with it, to be honest. But it was getting slower and slower and slower over time, despite my blog and my blogging skills getting better. And why I think it was getting more competitive. Google changed things up, just all kinds of different things that kind of worked against it. And so I started to focus on less labor intensive ways to get traffic and ways to get it in maybe more immediate methods. So the cool thing about the pluses of all those things I said about YouTube, social media, all that stuff is free, but you need to take time to do it, and you need to invest time and money to get the skills to get good at it, right? So overall, I think the majority of people that are using free only strategies, especially if it's in a network marketing business, not necessarily purely an affiliate marketing business or a small business, but if they're into a network marketing business and they're purely using free, they're not getting a lot of traction. There are some, though, that are some labor, a little bit more labor intensive ways that are. Greg and I know, Lauren I know knows that some Facebook chat methods work. It's not my favorite way, but just having direct chats with people. It's free. It's free. It takes time. You got to get good at it, and you hopefully aren't upsetting a lot of people along the way. But that's a way to do it, and it does work, and it's been proven to work. We've proven it works within what we're doing. But the ways also that I like to do it is using some paid traffic as well. And I've done more and more of that over time, and I've had good results with it. I've spent money on it and had no results too, and I'll kind of try to guide you a little bit on that. But I've done more and more paid traffic because it's somewhat instant, and it just works if you find the right sources and you do it the right way. So let's talk a little bit more about that, and then we'll end. Let's see what the time is here, by the way. I don't even see my clock here. Yeah. Well, we might be another half hour or so. Let's see. There's lots of different ways to do paid traffic. And again, I can't teach everything in one night. And it's not meant to be everything about paid traffic evening anyway. But solo ads is one. Solo ad meaning somebody else has an email list. Maybe you don't have a big email list. It could be you have 150, whatever, nobody on an email list right now. You can go have somebody who has a bigger email list, who knows how big theirs is, send an email out on your behalf with, some, email text and a link to your opt-in page. Always your opt-in page, never your sales page. You basically pay that guy to do it. Solo ad will cost you anywhere from about 30 cents at the low end to $1 a click at the high end. By a click, it means the guy sends out as many emails to get whatever number of clicks you buy to click on the link in the email. That's what a click is. That means that they will see your opt-in page. That's all it means. It's a click. Whether they opt in, that's up to how good your opt-in page is. Kind of up to a little bit how good the list is that the person's emailing to as well. And that's why you got to be careful when you're buying solo ads. Okay. Solo ads, one of the cool things about them is it's the easiest one to do, though. And it requires a lot less skill than some Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, things like that. And you can do all those. Okay. So solo ads is the easiest one. Some other, I wanted to get into, where you would find them and where I've found them and what I do when I find somebody I want to deal with. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is go open up my browser window again. Have another sip of my drink. Again, guys, just give me some feedback. Are things going well? Do you like what you're hearing here? By the way, it's really nice to see some of my old friends on here that I've known for a few years. So what I'm going to do is go into some solo ad Facebook groups. So let me switch my browser window again here. There we go. I'm waiting for that Google navigation to pop over. There we go. And let's pull Facebook up here. For any of you folks that know me, when I used to do webinars frequently, my voice can give out. Well, tonight it's going to give out fairly soon too, because last night I'm in a choir, and last night was my first public performance with my choir, and we did about 14 songs. And there we go. Now I can navigate over to that window. So we did about 14 songs last night. Had a lot of fun, but 14 songs in one evening, when you're not experienced at it. I'm waiting for the browser to open here. Maybe I'll close a few windows down. Product placement. Greg says, did I get paid product placement fees for my ad and my drink? Yes, I am. I'll bill Nautica tomorrow. I had to double check what hat I had on. And Nike G2. I like this stuff, by the way. It's only 20 calories. My browser now is frozen. How many other things are going to happen here? Let me open up another browser window then. Totally froze. Have a cold beer. You know what, Geralda? You are tempting me, and in fact, I wanted to take about a 5-minute break. Why don't we take a little break? I don't want anybody to leave, but we'll only be about another 25 minutes or so, I think. Let's take a break, and I think you've just talked me into a beer because my throat is dry. And we'll take a bio break as well. And we'll come back here in about, let's see what time it is now, 8:34. How about 8:45? And we'll keep going. And I got to unfreeze my browser, so that'll give me a few minutes to work on that. Okay, guys? So we'll see you in a few minutes. Yeah, Greg. Okay. I haven't muted here. I probably should have, but it's okay. I'm not making much noise. Yeah, I probably should have put some music on. Sorry. Okay, we're about 2 minutes to getting going again. Okay, guys, I think we'll start up in about 30 seconds here. Let's see some thumbs up in the group. Let me know if you're there and ready. Just give me a heads up when I see a few other people saying they're back and ready. Let me know and we'll get going. Hey, Jeanette, good. Glad you are. You know, I really wanted to do this. I know it's a lot. I'll recognize, I know we're covering an awful lot of stuff, a lot of tools, but I wanted to get everybody, especially the newer people here, get them level set with this mindset that we got to get leads, and it's best to get them in a way that is unique to you. In other words, I don't mean how, I mean what you're presenting is a way that it's unique to you. Your opt-in page is unique to you. It reflects your style, or it reflects a little bit of a combination of your style and then whatever it is you're going to sell. Will you give us a copy of the recording? Yes, absolutely, I will. And unfortunately, I wasn't sure if I stopped the broadcast, if I could restart. So it's going to have this little gap in the middle. Or else I'll download it and edit it and get rid of the gap. But yes, I'll send you a replay. So, okay, I think we'll get going. Thanks, John. Good to see you back. You know, it's kind of cool. We haven't lost a lot of people from what I can tell. In fact, we got, we haven't lost any since the beginning. So that's cool. I wish some of the other people would message us, though. Yeah, thanks, Greg. Yeah. Well, yeah, admittedly, I am doing a little bit of selling, but I'm trying to teach. And that's, I think, an effective way to sell. Now, look at it. If people have all these things, they're not buying anything. I'm not selling anything there. But it's just a good thing. It makes me feel good. And I really did want to get people up to speed with some of these things. So let's get back to my browser window. Chrome is totally hung up. I can't use it. I can't even close it, and I can't because the webinar's on it. I can't. Wrong one. 1 second. I got to find my Firefox browser window. Just got to see which one Firefox is on. Probably that one. There we go. Yeah, this is what I'm. Okay, so I got to move this aside a bit. Make sure I've got the right one open. Okay, and so we're back. So what I want to do next is talk about solo ads. And we were in the presentation where I have found solo ads typically is started in Facebook, some Facebook groups, okay? There are going to be all kinds of vendors, and I wanted to show you some things to look for and some things to not, to avoid, things like that. The very first thing you do is search up in Facebook, just type in solo ad. Pardon me, solo ad. And you'll see some groups. Now, you'll have to join these groups. You want to join them, and then you want to turn notifications off when you join them. Otherwise, you're going to get messages all day. But you join the groups. So let's take a look at a couple of these. You'll see there's all kinds. I'm going to go into one of them. This is, I actually like this group because people purchase a solo ad from somebody, then they are talking about the results they've had. My caution, when you go to a vendor's website on a solo ad, naturally they're going to have about a dozen glowing testimonials from people that had great results from that guy's solo ad. But you don't know about any of the other people. You know about the 10 testimonials he's got, and you don't know about the, maybe 2,000 people that got nothing, right? You just can't tell by looking purely at a website. Now, eventually you'll get to a website. But why I like these groups a little bit is you get to see a little bit more about it. So here, this guy's got the pin post, so he may sell solo ads, and he's the smart guy that created the group. But you'll see through here, this guy is, I guess he's working on behalf of this guy. Mickey is working on behalf of Doman. He bought solo ads from this person. He paid for 700 clicks. He received 761. A lot of them will deliver maybe 10% more than you ask for. It's a competitive world. They tend to do a little bit more than that. So about 10% is what you can expect above and beyond what you paid for. The opt-in rate was 51%. And tier 1 is 80%. And I'll explain all of that. So somebody went out to this guy, to Hendra, and bought a solo ad, $700. They probably, I don't know what Hendra charges. We could click on Hendra and go see that. but I won't worry about it. Let's assume it's maybe 50 cents. They've probably paid them $350 to get 700 clicks. They had 761 clicks, and they got a 51% opt-in rate. So 51 out of 761 is, I don't know, 330 something. Okay, so 380 something, pardon me. So they got 380 some opt-ins. That's pretty good, right? They spent $350, they got 380 opt-ins, okay? Of the traffic that came, of the 780, 61, 80% were tier one. What that means is tier one countries are defined as the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. They're tier one. It's not a discrimination thing or anything like that. It's that it's a culture. First of all, they're generally English speaking, and they generally they're a culture with credit cards. So if they can't buy something, there's no sense advertising right to them. So you don't want to be spending money on advertising to go out to, a third world country where nobody has any money, one, or they make virtually no money, two, and third, they don't have credit cards. Okay, so we call tier one companies that. So of the 761 clicks, 80% were tier one. Now, when you buy your solo ad, they'll usually tell you approximately the percentage. And from some vendors, you can say, I want 100% tier one clicks. Okay. I've done two recently, one with 100%, one with 80%. I got about the same result, to be honest. But I wanted to try it out. I'll probably stick with the tier one going forward, because it didn't cost a lot extra. But anyway, all said, looking at that person's pretty happy. Now, if I saw a bunch of other people bought from her, and I'll just, I don't know what's on this website. I don't, but I do see Sean a couple times. Different people. But you'll see a lot of these stats are pretty similar. Here's a really good opt-in rate, by the way, 66% opt-in rate, 86% tier one. That's really good. So that's an interesting seller that I might look at. But I like to see more than one. I like to see more than one ad from somebody. Okay. And occasionally you're going to see somebody just, the guy didn't deliver, or the guy took 3 weeks longer than he was supposed to deliver. And so the cool thing I like about the groups is this is real. This is generally real. I mean, I can't tell. This guy could be this guy's best friend. I don't know that, but at least you're seeing, especially multiple testimonials here about it. Okay. And that's just a way to judge it. And I think it's a better way than to judge by looking at the website. Now, if you looked at one of these people, here's Sean Pope. I saw a couple reviews here. That's a low opt-in rate though. You wouldn't want to, that's pretty low, but that person got some sales. But it is a low opt-in rate. Let's see, here's a little bit higher. 40% opt-in rate is generally pretty good. So basically, if that looked interesting, and this person also said, I'm always getting amazing results, fast results. So then all I do is click on this guy's name here. And usually they will have more information about what they're doing and how to order and things like that there. Now, the next thing you could do, though, is just send Sean a message. Okay. Hey, Sean, saw you, send a friend request first, and then a message. Let me just move that up so I can see the rest of my window a bit better. But send a friend request and a message, looking to connect regarding solo ads. Then what you do is when you talk to the guy regarding the solo ads, and there's this website, by the way, Pope Solos. I'm not representing him. I've never bought from this guy. I'm not recommending. But I would message and say, hey, looking to buy a solo ad. I am, maybe I'm looking for tier one countries only. I'm looking to build a long-term relationship. I don't like to have to find a new vendor every time I buy one of these, right? And that's just between you and me, guys. I don't want to do that all the time. I want to find some reliable ones that I can just go back every couple of weeks or whenever I'm ready and just go back and forth. And eventually when you find these are gold, right? They're really good. So I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I just want to do a test right now. Can you give me a great deal right now to get started? And by test, I would say a test should be anywhere, maybe 100 clicks, something like that. You don't want to do one too small that you have such a small critical mass. You're not really getting to know if it works, right? By 100 clicks or a couple hundred clicks, that's a good enough method that this thing is working. Because you can decide as you're going through with this if there are problems, okay? And I'll explain a little bit more of that first of all. Now, Rona mentioned something earlier. I wasn't going to say it, but I would say it right now. If you're going to do a test, you could create 2 opt-in pages. And you can ask the solo vendor, hey, can you put these on a rotator so that you'll run both of these opt-in pages and so that you'll know which one works the best, okay? If you get a 50% opt-in rate on one of them and you only get a 20% on the other one, well, you then know your winner, right? And you might even do another test with the good one and one that's similar to the good one, possibly change some text, possibly change a color, and give it another try the next time. Again, I always test a little bit if you can. Now, I'll admit I don't always do that, sometimes in a rush, but you might as well do that. And especially you would do that before you get into any volume. Let me, excuse me for a second. Let me take a sip of my beer. Before you ever get into buying volume being 500 clicks or something like that, you're going to spend $200, $300. You want to make sure the opt-in page works, the sales page is converting, and things like that. So you do want to do some testing. Now, where are the holes in the process a little bit? Now, I don't have a slide about this, but if you have a low opt-in rate, the whole, and I'm saying 15% or lower, even 25. And I've had one recently that was about 25, and then I've had another one that was about 60. If you have a low opt-in rate, the issue is what's on your opt-in page. There's only 2 possible places it's the issue. It's the traffic that the guy's sending to you or what's on your opt-in page. Okay, that's the only place because that's where the decision's being made, right? Once you figure that out and you're getting a stronger opt-in page, okay, well, the next thing is your thank you page, which would usually be, if you're selling a company thing, like an affiliate marketing, network marketing thing, it's that. Well, you don't have a lot of control over that thank you page in a big way. But if you're getting a lot of opt-ins and no sales, you might be, trying to sell something through a funnel that isn't working that well. Again, if it's not one you've created, you can't do much about it. Okay. I have a funnel of a company that, for instance, that I found it very awkward to sell through their sales page. We've recently set up a new funnel with other videos that me and a few other people on the team did, and that thing's selling like crazy. But it's after they've gone through that funnel of videos, then they go to the company sales page, and we've instructed people how to order effectively. That funnel's working much, much, much better than just the generic one of the company. And that's a company, again, I know some of the people here are with me in, so that's why I mention it. And the new funnel is the 175 payday funnel that some of us are using, and it's working great in general. Okay, so you got to analyze where your problems are. If it's a low opt-in rate, your problems are one of 2 places: the source of your traffic or the opt-in page itself. If you're getting great opt-ins and you're not getting sales, still could be 2 issues. Still could be the source of the traffic. Maybe there are no buyers on that list. It's just a bunch of people that have opted in for freebies all the time and have never spent anything. So then they're probably not going to spend anything again. I'm a good spender. I buy stuff all the time, right? So I'm on a lot of buyer lists. Why? Because I'm a good buyer, right? I'm a good seller, but I'm also a good buyer. I think that's the case with a lot of us. But it's that analysis you got to do, okay? Now, the next thing, and it'll be the final thing I want to talk about, is how I kind of track this kind of stuff and how I track my my results, my clicks, and all that kind of thing. Let me just go back to the slides for a moment. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to just navigate to a page here just to save one step of navigation. I use this tool called ClickMagick to track my links. And this thing I love, and I've been using it now for 2 years, and it's a subscription, but it's a really cheap subscription. I think it's like $14 a month or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I do have a link for a free 30-day trial that doesn't even take a credit card. By the way, GetResponse's trial doesn't even take a credit card neither. You don't need to put one in to get a trial. So within this system, ClickMagick is where I track my traffic. Now, I have lots of links in here. I just happen to, you can group them and under whatever you want. So I have one for this one company that I'm doing. And you can see here on ClickMagick, I bought some traffic. There's that opt-in page that I created before. See it there? And I can see here that I had 247 clicks to that page. Now I went out and bought 200 clicks, okay? The guy delivered 218, just like I was saying, typically about a 10% over delivery, okay? So I had 247 total clicks, but 218 of them were unique, all right? Okay, I know I ended up getting 3 sales from the traffic. Okay, I got 3 people bought this product. It went from my opt-in page, this one, to my sales page. I actually show the sales page here. It is a company one here. And that's why that you can see it's blue and red. And this is not a page I created. I just tracked the link here. And I had 218 clicks. Of that 218 clicks, I had 77 people got to the sales page. So I had 77 opt-ins. And from that 77 opt-ins, I had 3 sales that joined that company, okay, with me. All right. So that's how I track the traffic. Now, the cool thing about this is because this tool tracks clicks, unique clicks, and a lot of other stuff, including the countries they're coming from and all kinds of other things. Let me open something up. Even the traffic quality that I've got. So I had a reasonable result. This company did not represent all tier 1 traffic. They said it was going to be about 80%. And here I can see I actually got 87%. So, okay, so they did what they said. There's other there are a lot of mobile clicks in this one, though. And I hadn't initially had a mobile optimized opt-in page. I did not. And when I realized they were coming in from a mobile site, as an example, I quickly created a mobile page, and that's what that was for. All right. And that's what that page was for. And within ClickMagick, the cool thing is you can tell it on the one page. I gave this link out to the vendor, but I went in here and even made an edit and said, if it's mobile, and I'll have to remember because I've only done that a couple times. If I go in and edit, pardon me. If it's mobile, go to that other page. And I think that's under, there it is. If it's mobile, go to that other page. Because I was realizing I was not getting very good results initially. I quickly whipped up that other mobile page that shows much better on a cell phone. You know, that little timer and box filled it up, whereas with this other one, I didn't notice that before, that survey style doesn't fit very well, and that people would have to scroll like crazy and things like that. So the neat thing is, even on the fly, as that traffic was going, I quickly went into lead pages, whipped up a mobile page in about 5 minutes. I created a link for it down below, and then I added it as a mobile link within my initial link that I promoted. I know this sounds confusing, but it simply says if somebody's on a computer, send them to the first link, this one. If they're on a smartphone or a tablet, go to that other one. I didn't have to tell the vendor anything about that. I did this on the fly, and it's a cool, cool thing. So ClickMagick Easy, easy. Let me get back to my presentation. And then I've got a ClickMagick trial. If you are interested, if you want to track this, if you're going to buy paid traffic, I recommend it. If you're just doing free stuff, it's actually valuable because you know where the traffic's coming from then anyway, if you track your links in here. But it's clearly, if you're going to do into paid traffic, I highly recommend it. Okay. And those are the reasons. The other thing you can do is cloak a link. Affiliate links, vendors links, pages with the, ID equals and all that kind of stuff. For some reason, people generally don't like them. So within here, this isn't an affiliate link. This is one of my lead pages, but I could have created a link with whatever affiliate product I have with some ugly link here. And I just give it my name here. And you can actually add multiple domains here. So this is my own domain. So the link ends up to be decidetothrive.org/that. Okay. 6 steps vet. This guy's a veteran. Whereas if I had it for the actual company, it would have been a really ugly link. Okay. So there's all kinds of tools in here, ways to cloak links. You can add pop-ups to things, lots of stuff. I don't want to overkill on that right now, but let's navigate back to the, slides and we'll wrap up. Okay. And okay, there we go. So you're all with me, everybody? Key is change only one element. Yeah, Rona made a good point, by the way. When you're testing, change one thing and then do your comparison. Change one element at a time, and then you know which of the 2 elements works. Now, I didn't do that with my color. I could have left the same text, had one with the blue and one with the beige, gave it a trial of 50 or 100 clicks, and then I'd see if the color mattered or not. I don't think it would anyway, but that's a color thing. Text will matter, okay? Here's a way to get a ClickMagick free 30-day trial without a credit card. You don't even need one to sign up. They ask you at the end if you want to keep it. So it doesn't default bill you. It's simply go to ClickMagick, magic.com/go/start. And that's a 30-day trial for them. I really love it. Key for any paid traffic. It keeps your vendors on. I've had one guy virtually deliver nothing. He gave me some report that said I got like 200 clicks at one point. I maybe got 30, or maybe I can't remember. Either only got 30. I got 30 unique, and the rest were all repetitive. Well, that's not good. That's 30 clicks. That's not 200. I gave him. I just took a screen capture of this from ClickMagick. He reran the ad, and it went well. So it gives you proof, right? It gives you data to fall back on in case that kind of thing happens as well. Okay, so that's why I like it, and I think especially if you're going to do paid traffic, which is really where I'm aiming people here, you want to track it with something like that. The very final thing, and I'm not going to spend much time on it, is as well as getting clicks for people, especially in network marketing. Thanks, Marie. Thanks for the nice word. There's another option than just getting clicks. There's the ability to get direct leads as opposed to clicks. So remember, a click is somebody looks at your web page. A lead is somebody opts into your web page. Okay. When you're buying clicks, you buy 200 clicks. You'll be lucky if you get 100 opt-ins. 50% opt-ins, pretty good. Okay. As opposed to buying leads, you can get them without worrying about the clicks. Okay. With leads, you don't need an opt-in page. With leads, or depends on the company you go to, they can have an opt-in page, but they'll guarantee you the clicks. I'm not going to take you to this company's website, but you can go to it and have a look at it. And it's called MLM Leads. Again, not for affiliate marketers, but for any network marketers. I think this is really good. They got a lot of different services on it. One is they will give you leads. One is they will do clicks like your opt-ins. If you want to get, it's like a solo ad, but you're buying it from a bigger company. And I found my results with them were very good. the last thing they'll do, and this is for people that don't want to pick up the phone with leads. If you're going to get leads, you can, put them into your email sequence. One of the nice things to get response is you can import leads into it. Some companies you can't, but Get Response you can, which is one of the other reasons I use it. You can buy leads from this company and put them into your email sequence, number one. Or you can call them. When you get them, you get the name, email address, phone number, if you're the kind of person that calls. Now, I am not the kind of person that calls, but they even have a service where they'll call them for you. Okay. Now, clearly, the more things you get, the more you pay for. But if you've got a product that has, upsells and all that kind of stuff, and you figure out that, you potentially make $500 or $600 or $1,000 for every person that joins, it could be well worth having these guys make the calls for you. They won't guarantee you sales, and I'm not guaranteeing you sales. I haven't had them make calls for me, but I have bought leads and I've done well with them, and I have done opt-ins and I've done well with them. So I'm not going to take you to the website because it's been a long night already, but you'll see it here. If you just go to cashfunnels.club, which is my own site, and then I kept this one short, just go/MLM. There's lots of stuff on the site. If I recommend any of those services. The opt-ins, they call where it's you're using your opt-in page and they're getting clicks. They call that my auto responder service or something like that. No, my auto leads, I think it is, something like that. But they'll explain it on the site. It's a good site. It's a reputable company. It's been around a long time. It's not, some of us got roped into a company that was guaranteeing sales a while ago and ended up just throwing away money. Got nothing. They just ran away with the money. This is not that. This is a reputable company that's been around a long time and has been doing well and has great testimonials. And I've used it, and I can give you a good testimonial as well. So cashfunnels.club/go/MLM is it. I think that was a lot for one night, and it was an experiment to see if it was applicable. I'd love to get a little feedback right now. If you think I covered too much in one night or too, not a lot, not enough, good variety, let me know. I'd love to see some feedback before we end. And I have a bonus I'm going to give you as well at the end. And I'll tell you about it in a moment. But let's get some feedback before we stop. While you're putting some feedback in here. Thank you, Mike. Hey, good, man. Thank you. Well, I get a little bit more feedback. I'll tell you the bonus I'm going to get. I wrote, Jeanette, a lot for you. Yeah, sure. And watch again. That's the idea. Set it up as part 1, 2, 3. Thanks, John. Yeah, it might be the way to do it, but getting people to show up for 3 nights is tough too. So there's pluses and minuses. When I will be breaking it up as a paid product, and I definitely will be doing that then, at least subsequent videos. I'm probably not going to use this webinar as the video, but I've got the slides and I can record videos. Greg, thank you very much. Thank you. Give us a PDF with the links. Absolutely. What I'll do is, first of all, I'll direct you to one website before I do that. I will send out a PDF. Let me just type it on here. Or let me find it first, get the link. I have a number of these tools on a page on my own website already. But I will be adding some others to it. Let me just get to that website first with the resources. I'm going to just, the easiest is go to patrickbattyonline.com. And then you'll see over here my favorite internet marketing tools. Okay. That doesn't include some of the things like solo ad stuff and all that. I will be putting this in a resource document that I will be emailing out to you. And I promised for those of you that stuck around, I would give you a bonus as well. I will tell you one thing. This has not been updated, but it is a decent document. And now that browser froze. What's good going on with browsers right now? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I wrote a book about list building about 2 years ago. I updated it last year. It's a resource that anybody can use. It's very easy to follow. I normally sell it. What I'm going to do is I'll email you guys a download link for it directly. So you don't go through the sales page. You go through you just get right to the download page. So you'll get a free copy of it. It's about a 100-page book. Believe it or not, I sat down and wrote a 100-page book. And I sold a lot of them. Okay. So I'll give you a copy. I will say there's going to be some things in there that probably aren't any good because I haven't updated it. And I will update it, but I'm going to send it to you before I update it. I'll give you another copy once it's updated, but I don't know when that'll be. I've got a lot on my plate right now. So that's a cool you want people to stick around. You don't want to be talking to a computer screen. Let me open up my, let me see if I can grab the download link. In fact, and I'll give it to you right now. One sec. No, the browser is frozen. So I'll tell you what, let me put my camera back on for a sec. There we go. So there is a real guy here with his Nautica hat. You don't know, but I did open up the beer based on Gerald's recommendation. I'll email you the document. In the meantime, if you're interested in any of the other things, if you go to patrickbattyonline.com, the autoresponders there, the lead pages are there. Web hosting if you need it. I use a company called Bluehost now. I used to use one called HostGator. It's very good. There's a few other things. And even the businesses that I promote, but most of you guys are in it. Sorry, Greg, what was your question? What kind of, let me see this, navigate this. There, Greg asked the important question of the night. This is Bitburger. It's a German beer. I'm on a bit of a German beer. Well, first of all, I'm not drinking a lot of beer. My wife is on a bit of a diet kick for me that I'm not as inspired as she is, but, trying. But I've buckled down and got a couple. It's nice. It's a light German beer. Anyway, that's it, guys. Sorry for going so long, but we had a lot to cover. I do like John's recommendation. I definitely will be breaking it up in modules for the paid version of it. And the good thing is having this webinar got me to get this material together. There'll probably even be other stuff in the paid version of it, but I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. My voice is given out as it normally does in these. But before we go, I just want to thank you guys for coming around. It was a long night. I hope you got some good stuff out of it. Especially lead capturing, get onto it. Do not be promoting your sales pages directly on Facebook. And I've seen that. In fact, generally, don't put a link in your Facebook post. Put an image in your Facebook post to get some attention, have some talk, and then put your link down in the comments. You'll get more engagement that way, and Facebook will display it to a lot more people as well. It's different item. Don't want to start going down that path. But that's it for tonight for me, guys. I thank you very much. Peace, prosperity. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful night. And look for the bonuses to be sent out to you tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye. Thanks, John.